For those of you that have worked with an attorney here at Legacy Legal, you've probably heard us talk about this idea of maintaining your estate plan or keeping things up to date. And it's probably a little obvious to anybody that's suffered the loss of a loved one, where your parents may have even had a competent estate plan when it was put together, but unfortunately time had passed, things had changed, and the plan that may have been just immaculate when it was originally created didn't solve the problems that the survivors hoped that it would solve. And so we've always talked about updating things as changes happen. As your life changes, your estate plan needs to change also. For example, I was talking with a family member just this summer that was going through the update process for their estate plan, and I was just kind of bouncing ideas off of them and asking questions and trying to help them think differently about the estate planning process. And so I posed a question. I said, one of the most important things is, as a new asset is acquired, for example, that asset is acquired thoughtfully and intentionally in light of your estate plan. And so I said, so for example, the vehicle you recently purchased, how did you take title to that vehicle? It's like, well, husband and wife jointly. Well, that's a great first step, but what happens if both pass away at the same time? Or I've got another friend who we did in my opinion, a fantastic estate plan for them a few years ago, but they moved over the summer. They have a new house. Well, anytime you move, there's a handful of things to consider in the context of estate planning, or avoiding probate, or put differently, keeping family and finances out of court and out of conflict. So for example, my friends that bought a new house over the summer, even though we had a great estate plan for them a couple of years ago, a couple things need to happen. Number one, we need to make sure that title to that real estate is addressed properly, so that if the owners of the real estate, my clients, were to pass away, we want to make sure that asset transfers seamlessly outside of the courtroom process. There's little things that have to be done to make sure that's the case. Or similarly, if you're married and in Kansas and you own your home, your financial power of attorney also has to be updated if you buy a new home. These are the little things that, as a profession, as attorneys, historically, we haven't had a great way to help clients stay on top of it. The dirty little secret is that we did a plan a few years ago. You paid the invoice, you've got our phone number, and unfortunately, as a profession, we've put the monkey on your back. It's the client's responsibility to initiate, to reach out. And in my experience, and in the experience, frankly, of every estate planning attorney I've ever talked to, clients don't call when they need to. A lot of times it's because they don't know to call. Like, I didn't know, just because I got a new house, I need to update my financial power of attorney. Nobody told me that. Or I didn't know that when I bought a new vehicle that some form of estate plan considerations need to be made. Clients don't know every little variable that might lead to some sort of issue down the road. I think the second reason clients don't call is they don't want to spend more money, and they certainly don't want to write a blank check to the law firm because they have no idea how much it's going to cost to get things updated. Isn't it just a minor change anyways? Surely we don't need to have some big production about it. Isn't it just a document? Sort of, but clients don't call because they don't know they need to. Clients don't call because they don't know how much it's going to cost. And then frankly, when you do call, most attorneys don't know how much it will cost either. You've heard it said that the answer to every legal question is, it depends. And historically, that's been our answer also. just like every other excellent estate planning law firm, we have done our very best to help clients stay on top of their affairs as things changed. But we also recognize that there is so much room for improvement. And so I'm excited to tell you about our FamilyCare Program. This is something relatively new. We did not start Legacy Legal with this tool, but it's a tool that we have now, and I'm so excited to offer it because the FamilyCare Program is the very best answer we've been able to come up with to that horrible little question, which is, how do we make sure that no matter what happens in the future, our estate plan will work and that we know that our assets and our loved ones will stay out of court and out of conflict no matter what happens. So our FamilyCare Program is the answer to that question.